Welcome back. On the international scene, the Queen has asked staff to work with the Duke and Duchess of Sussex to find a workable solution following the announcement of stepping back from senior royal duty. Her Majesty is said to have been in touch with the Prince of Wales and the Duke of Cambridge today. Simon Pusey has more in Around the World in 5.
Good evening from the Channel's newsroom here in London. The UK royal family are said to be hurt at the Duke and Duchess of Sussex's announcement that they will step back as senior royals. In what's been described as an extraordinary statement, Meghan and Harry said, after many months of reflection and internal discussion, we have chosen to make a transition this year in starting to carve out a progressive new role within this institution. We intend to step back as senior members of the royal family and work to become financially independent. It's thought Prince Harry and Meghan did not consult any senior royal before making that statement, something that is thought to have angered senior members of the royal family. In response, Buckingham Palace said, "Discussions with the Duke and Duchess of Sussex are at an early stage. We understand their desire to take a different approach, but these are complicated issues that will take time to work through." The pair were already preparing to launch their own Sussex Royal Charity. It is expected to be global, linked to Africa and the US rather than domestic, and will have a commitment to female empowerment. Royal analysts say the news has taken Buckingham Palace completely by surprise.
The way this has been handled and the fact that a statement was put out apparently without either the Queen or other senior members of the royal family knowing about it is simply almost beyond belief.
A plane that crashed in Iran with 176 people on board was trying to return to the airport when it crashed. That's according to Iranian investigators. The Boeing 737-800 went down just minutes after taking off from Tehran's airport, leaving no survivors. An initial probe found the aircraft experienced a problem as it was leaving the airport zone and was described as being on fire. Iran's civil aviation organisation said the plane turned right following a problem and was headed back to the airport at the moment of the crash. The US says it is ready to engage without preconditions in serious negotiations with Iran, following the country's exchange of hostilities. In a letter to the UN, the US justified the killing of Iranian General Qasem Soleimani as an act of self-defense. Iran has retaliated by firing missiles at air bases housing US forces in Iraq, causing no casualties. General Soleimani was widely held as being Iran's second most senior official. As head of the Revolutionary Guard's elite Quds force, he was an architect of Iranian policy in the region. Iran's supreme leader, Ali Khamenei, described the missile attacks as a slap in the face for the US and called for an end to the American presence in the Middle East. The US strike on Soleimani also killed members of Iran-backed Iraqi militias, who have also vowed revenge. Meanwhile, the Pope has appealed for dialogue between the two sides. The Pope urged the United States and Iran to avoid escalation to avert a wider conflict in the Middle East. His first direct comments on the current crisis came in a yearly speech known as the State of the World Address. The Australian state of Victoria has again declared a state of disaster ahead of forecast dangerous dynamic conditions in a massive bushfire zone. Despite a national bushfire crisis raging since September, the southeastern state is only entering what is considered to be its worst fire months now. Blazes have already burnt 1.2 million hectares in Victoria and claimed 3 lives, while nationally 27 people have died. The danger is predicted to be greatest on Friday due to hot, volatile weather. Meanwhile, Australian cricketers Tim Paine and Nathan Lyon visited areas devastated by the bushfires in New South Wales, meeting with firefighters to help lift their spirits.
And we thought, again, just really important for us to come here, say thank you, try and lift their spirits a little bit. And yeah, it's been a really special day, really humbling day.
Harvey Weinstein's lawyer has asked the judge in his client's rape case to step down after he threatened to jail Mr. Weinstein for using his phone in court. Arthur Idala said what he called Judge James Burke's inflammatory, biased and prejudicial comments suggested he had already decided Mr. Weinstein was guilty. Mr. Weinstein faces 5 charges and possibly life in prison if convicted. The allegations include rape and predatory sexual assault relating to 2 unnamed accusers. Since 2017, more than 80 women, including many famous actresses, have accused the film producer of sexual misconduct dating back decades. And finally, the Canadian pop singer Justin Bieber has revealed he has been diagnosed with Lyme disease. The 25-year-old wrote on Instagram, "It's been a rough couple of years," adding that he was also suffering from a chronic viral infection. The star said he was aware of social media speculation that he had a drug problem after he was pictured looking unwell with blotches on his skin. Lyme disease is a bacterial infection caused by ticks. And that's your international news around the world in 5.
Many thanks, Simon. Olumide is standing by to tell us what's happening in the world of sports.
Thank you, Melinda. Hello and welcome to Sports News. The Badminton Federation of Nigeria says it's working to ensure that its players qualify for the 2020 Tokyo Olympics. As part of the Federation's 2020 programs, 3 of its players will attend Olympic qualifiers in Estonia, Sweden, Uganda, Kenya, New Zealand, Finland, Netherlands, and Croatia. The players are reigning men's African champion Anoluakwo Kweyori, his doubles partner Godwin Olofua, and Dorcas Adeshokon, who is also women's Africa's reigning champion. According to the Federation President, Francis Obi, the points garnered at these championships will propel the players to Tokyo. Obi also stated that the Nigerian team will take part in the All-Africa Senior Championships in February. Meanwhile, the Karate Federation of Nigeria has confirmed that 20 athletes and 8 officials will feature in the maiden West African Championships in Mali. The Karate Federation said Nigeria will compete in the cadets, junior, and senior categories. The Federation advised the athletes against the use of performance-enhancing drugs and other banned substances. The Federation said the performance of the athletes will determine their participation at the African Championships and the World Championships. In English Premiership news, Tottenham have confirmed Harry Kane will be sidelined until April and will undergo surgery to repair a ruptured tendon in his left hamstring. Following assessment of the team's medical staff, it was decided that the England international should undergo surgery to repair a ruptured tendon in his left hamstring. The decision to undergo surgery is not expected to impact the time frame that Kane will be sidelined for. The 26-year-old's lengthy absence could impact Spurs' activity in the transfer window, with Spurs manager Jose Mourinho admitting it's too soon for a 17-year-old striker, Troy Parrott, to fill Kane's boots. Tennis, Australia is through to the semi-finals of the ATP Cup after beating Great Britain 2-1. Cam Norrie lost the first quarter-final match 6-2, 6-2 to Nick Kyrgios before Dan Evans kept Britain in the tournament, courtesy of a win over Alex de Minaur 7-6, 4-6, 7-6 in 3 hours and 23 minutes. In the deciding doubles rubber, de Minaur and Kyrgios saved 4 match points to defeat Jamie Murray and Joey Salisbury 3-6, 6-3, 18-16. That's sports news. It's back to Melinda for the conclusion of the news at 10.
Many thanks, Olumide. And the main news again. Gunmen today attacked the community in Mangu local government area of Plateau State, killing at least 12 people as 4 Catholic seminarians were abducted in Kaduna State. President Muhammadu Buhari has commiserated with the families of those killed and asked security agencies to get to the root of the matter. Also today, governors of the southwest states launched a security initiative codenamed Operation Amotekun as part of the move to check insecurity in the region. And disquieting British royal family following decision by the Duke and Duchess of Sussex to step back as senior royals. That's the news at 10 tonight. I'm Melinda Akinlami. On behalf of the team, good night.